Welcome to Street Reporter, where the real America talks back. Tired of filtered headlines and corporate news spin? At Street Reporter, we take it to the pavement, bringing you raw, unfiltered, and fearless takes on American politics, breaking news, and the voices mainstream media ignores. From everyday people to political firestorms, we break it down straight from the streets to your screen. No scripts, no gatekeepers, just bold commentary, street interviews, and sharp analysis that puts you in the center of what really matters. Subscribe now and join the front line of truth, because real news starts where the cameras usually stop.
Members, a quorum is not present.
So here's some more breaking news, and I'm sorry, but today is a scary day of news. In Texas, Republicans just took an aggressive, childlike step. They voted to authorize civil arrest warrants for over 50 Democratic lawmakers who fled the state, which, by the way, is legal and has been done by both the right and the left. On August 4th, the GOP-controlled Texas House voted 85-6 to approve warrants. Why? Because Democrats left the state to block a redistricting plan they say would rig the next decade of elections. The House needs 100 members present to do business. Without Democrats, they don't have a quorum. So Republicans are trying to forcibly bring them back. Under House rules, the Speaker can now issue civil warrants to compel attendance, but they only apply inside Texas, and that's why Democrats are hiding out in places like Illinois, New York, and Massachusetts. Governor Abbott isn't stopping there. He has threatened to remove Democrats and is suggesting felony charges for fundraising to cover the $500 daily fine each walkout lawmaker faces. This is about much more than Texas. This is a national fight over voting rights, redistricting, and what happens when minority parties walk out to block a bill.
Your presence speaks volumes. You understand that the issues before us, disaster recovery, fighting for the families who lost loved ones in the floods, human trafficking, and more, are not abstract policy debates. They are real-world problems demanding immediate solutions. But instead of confronting those challenges, some of our colleagues have fled the state in their duty. They've left the state, abandoned their posts, and turned their backs on the constituents they swore to represent. They've shirked their responsibilities under the direction and pressure of out-of-state politicians and activists who don't know the first thing about what's right for Texas. To be absolutely clear, leaving the state does not stop this House from doing its work. It only delays it. And every day this chamber is unable to act, the cost grows. In response to this dereliction of duty, and pursuant to the rules of the House, I am prepared to recognize a motion to place a call on the House and any other motions necessary to compel the return of absent members. Should such a motion prevail, I will immediately sign the warrants for the civil arrest of the members who have said they will not be here.
Arrest the Democrats, folks. That's the word on the streets in Austin, Texas. That's right. The Texas House just gavelled back in moments ago. The vote was 85-6. Arrest and track down the 51 Democrats that fled Texas for some of the biggest gerrymandering states in the country.
Come and take it. That's the response from quorum-busting Texas Democrats after legal threats from Governor Greg Abbott. I'm Rhea Misra, and I'm a trending news fellow for the Barbed Wire. I'm back with the latest on redistricting this week. Dozens of Texas House Democrats left the state on Sunday afternoon to block Republican-proposed redistricting maps, which could add up to 5 new GOP seats in the U.S. House. Now, quorum busting has been a Texas political strategy since 1870, and in July, when House Democrats first started to consider a walkout to block the new maps, Attorney General Ken Paxton threatened to hunt down absent lawmakers. He doubled down yesterday, posting on X that the absent lawmakers should be, quote-unquote, found, arrested, and brought back to the Capitol immediately. Abbott has threatened legal action and said he'd seek to remove the lawmakers from their seats and would swiftly fill their vacancies. Now, the Democrats had a few choice words for that. U.S. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries addressed Abbott's comments on CNN and said that Abbott is, quote-unquote, out of his mind, making idle threats, and, to put it into Texas terms, all hat, no cattle.
Good evening. Earlier today, Texas Republicans voted to issue arrest warrants for more than 50 Democratic lawmakers. Why? Because those lawmakers walked out to stop a congressional map they saw was designed to rig elections. If you're thinking, did they actually do that? Let's walk through what happened. This started with a disaster. Back earlier in July, historic flooding in Kerr County killed over 100 people and devastated communities across central Texas. So when Governor Greg Abbott called a special 30-day legislative session on July 21st, the public was told it was to deal with the flood recovery. But the first thing on the agenda wasn't relief, it was redistricting, and not just any map. According to multiple reports, the map was drafted with input from Trump's Justice Department and designed to flip 5 congressional seats red. State Rep Armando Wale pointed out Abbott already had executive authority to allocate disaster funding. He didn't need this session, so why call one? Because this wasn't about Kerr County, it was about power. So, on August 3rd, 57 of 62 House Democrats, including Rep. Yolanda Jones and Rep. Donna Howard, left. They flew to places like Illinois, New York, denying Republicans the quorum needed to conduct any legislative business. So what is quorum? In the Texas House, at least 100 of 150 members must be present for anything to happen legally, whether it's debating a bill, passing a resolution, or holding a vote. No quorum means no power. And while some said it was a stunt, it wasn't. This move has historical precedent used by Democrats in 2021 and Republicans in 2003. It's not about skipping work. It's about activating the rules when all other options are gone. Then came the escalation. At 2:45 p.m. earlier today, Abbott gave a deadline: return by 3 or face consequences. Democrats stayed out. At 3:10 p.m., Republican leadership, still without quorum, locked the doors of the House chamber and voted 85-6 to issue civil arrest warrants for the Democrats who left. Speaker Dustin Burrows signed them immediately. Abbott followed up with threats of 500-a-day fines, expulsion from office, and even felony charges for any lawmakers who use campaign funds to pay those fines. It's not just about bringing them back, it's about punishing dissent. Here's what you need to know. These warrants only apply within Texas borders. Lawmakers who left the state, and most have, can't be legally compelled to return. And legally, experts say today's vote may not even hold water because, again, without quorum, the Texas House had no authority to vote on anything. That includes issuing arrest warrants. So what they did today might not just be extreme, it might be unconstitutional. The Texas Civil Liberties Union called this a crisis in plain sight, and governors from states like Illinois, New York, and California have offered legal support and protection to the Democrats who left. And redistricting isn't the only issue being blocked. Because the legislature can't move forward, several other bills are also stalled, including a controversial transgender bathroom ban, new abortion restrictions, and a statewide cap on THC content in medical cannabis. These policies have real impacts because, especially for vulnerable Texans, and they're being bundled into this political fight over maps. Meanwhile, the original purpose of the session was flood relief remains untouched. Local officials in Kerr County testified just days ago that they failed to activate emergency alerts fast enough during the flood. Yet, here we are, prioritizing political maps over disaster recovery. And Abbott, he's floated the idea of removing lawmakers from office even if they don't return or call back-to-back special sessions until he gets the maps he wants. So here's where we are, then the day, August 4th, 2025. Democrats walked out using constitutional rules to block a power grab. Republicans tried to override those rules with force. This isn't just a Texas story, it's a warning about what happens when the process stops mattering and only the outcome does. So, stay awake, because what happened today won't stay in Texas tomorrow.